Welcome to Minutes by Minutes. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we're here to talk about what goes on in the village, the township, you know, those governments, and those people that make regulations and laws that affect you out there.
That's right, Elgin. And whether you live in the village of Oxford, the village of Leonard, Oxford Township, or Addison Township, these are the people that you elected. And the commissions and the committees that make decisions that directly affect you, whether you chose to go to that important meeting or not. So don't be surprised if your taxes go up. So
that could very easily happen.
But that's why we're here.
Yeah. Well, to spread rumors too.
Rumors are good.
Oh yeah, we can. They go all over. They're just like, boy.
When life gets boring, start rumors.
They're like volcanoes. You know, once you start them, you can't bring them back. So we do spread rumors occasionally, mostly this guy.
Well.
And there's humor to be found in every meeting practically. I'd say probably every meeting.
Although some of the participants might not say that.
That's true. But unless you watch or you go to these meetings, as David says you should go, don't be too surprised if you find out that there's been regulations and rules and laws that actually affect you that you don't like. Could happen, you know.
It could happen.
Yep.
Could be taxing.
Now, we're going to talk about some of the meetings just so that you know what's going on. You don't have to sit in these meetings completely if you don't want to. However, you do have to dissect what is reality and that which is not from our program. Mostly it's reality, so it's going to be quite a task.
Except that fiction you've got there in front of you.
Right, got a lot of fiction here. No, actually, one of the things that we mentioned last time, we had discussion on it with the village council, and you had mentioned that Eric Dolan was a pro tem of the village council. And now, I don't know if you folks caught that rumor, but I said no.
And I smiled.
Eric Dolan is the pro tem for the village council. So I just want to clarify that today. This is a test. See if you were watching out there. And also, there's a new DDA director who will be coming in, has agreed to accept the position, and his name is Stephen Holowicki.
Well, has he been hired?
He has agreed to accept the position. So I'm saying
what does that mean?
That means he has been hired.
Okay.
So he'll be coming in, and you'll be learning more about that as we go along. As a matter of fact, I think at some point the station here will probably be doing an interview with the new DDA director. So stay tuned and follow it along. First, we have the Leonard Planning Commission is the first one we're going to talk about, and the Oxford Addison Cable Communication Commission, which is one that you know about.
You mean the Oxford area?
That one, yes.
Cable Communications
Those
Commission.
guys.
Those guys.
See, I stand corrected.
Body.
See, you have to watch closely. And then we're going to talk about a couple of events that are going to be going on, actually coming up the next week. Going to bring a lot of people into this area.
That's right.
So the first
Our population will go up by incredible percentages.
Right, and he didn't do it. Somebody else did it. So
wait a minute.
We'll discuss that too. Okay, Leonard Planning Commission. Okay, Paul Almirante is on that.
Almirante.
Almirante? Say that again.
Paul Almirante.
Okay, we'll go with that. We'll call him Smith, just in case. No, he wouldn't like that probably, but we'll one of these two will be correct. Sandy Arsenault serves on that board, but she was absent this particular meeting. Let me see. Debbie McDonald serves on the board, and Leslie McKenna, and she is the chair for the board.
Board or the commission?
Commission. Lori Lasamek wasn't there. She's another person that usually serves on this commission. Okay, so anyway, so they took off and they talked about the agenda, got approval. They approved the 20th, 2017 minutes quite quickly. They did make a few adjustments to it before they did that though, and the January minutes and the April minutes. Just a few word slips of the old word.
Tweaks, they call them.
Yeah, tweakers. Any public other than what's on the agenda? Anybody want to speak? Everybody looked at their shoes and nobody raised their heads. So they said, okay, we'll go on with the meeting. They did talk about the Strawberry Festival, which is going to be
July
15th. Yep. Wow. There's some pretty interesting things going on with the Strawberry Festival in Leonard, and they're going to have a soapbox derby.
Oh.
And right now,
where?
It's going to go right down.
It's a relatively flat little area there downtown
There's
Leonard.
one street though, off Main Street that does. It's a hill that they're going to use.
Okay.
And you couldn't put them on a flat
Well, no.
road. You have to have motors on. They don't allow motors on, there's no
I
crying in
figured they'd wait
soapbox
till a
derby.
windy day and put a sail up.
Right. So anyway, right now, according to the people that are working with this, there's roughly 20, 25 people, or kids, people that are involved in building this soapbox. It's not an easy task to build this thing, you got to go by regulation.
I know, there's a whole set of, like you said, regulations and specifications and soapboxes.
Okay. It started out, years ago with actual soap boxes where soap came in these boxes and kids would build these things. They
Now
had
they look like
contests.
little Formula One racers.
They do. You can't even find the rider. I mean, they're embedded in this thing. I
You
don't
got
know
to
how
get that
they.
low center of gravity,
Right. And I don't know how
No
they.
air resistance.
How do they eject them out when the race is done?
With a shoehorn.
Can they even find them?
With a shoehorn.
Right. Okay. So anyway, you folks want to pay attention to that going on. And I don't know of any other soapbox derbies in this area. So it's kind of unique that
They could,
small town of
they
Leonard.
could have a dandy one going from the high school right down Oxford Road.
Now they've got
That's a big drag down there.
yeah. And they could do that,
Yeah.
but it wouldn't be in Leonard. They'd have to move Leonard.
Well, true.
Okay, so that's never going to happen. I was involved with the soapbox derby actually at one time up in Saginaw. Now they've got a big operation.
Is that why they
going
made
there.
you come here?
They made me come here. Yes, didn't have any wheels. But anyway, no, it's quite a program that they have going for kids. Anyway, with that, Strawberry Festival.
Probably like a science project at high school. Dad has a
Yeah, right.
big role to play.
Not supposed to be parents involved in this. Actually, it's supposed to be the kids involved.
Yeah, sure.
Can you say cheating? No. It could happen, I guess, but nobody would ever cheat. Not in Leonard.
No.
I don't think so.
Not in Leonard. They're very ethical.
Well, they have pretty tough, requirements. So if they say fathers can, kind of look over their shoulder, then that's what can happen. But mothers aren't allowed.
WD-40 on that?
Actually, the mothers are the ones you got to watch out for. You say, hey, is that wheel really in the right place? Is that steering wheel supposed to be in the front or in the back?
Get a ruler out. I want to measure that one.
Yeah, that one's off at least 1/16 of an inch. Arr. Okay. So anyway, don't have to worry about the fathers. Got to worry about the mothers over there in Leonard. So anyway, next thing that came up was a site plan discussion, and what it is Sam Shemru, who owns the Market party store in town.
There's two.
Well, not anymore.
No, really?
No, the other guy. The other business went out.
Oh, really?
While
When did that happen?
I'd say probably early last winter.
Oh.
Sometime. Okay. But anyway, so this guy is doing really great. By the way, he has great pizza and all kinds of goodies there that if you're ever in...
And no competition.
No competition. That's great. As a matter of fact, he's expanding. And what he's looking for is actually a storage building to be attached, actually part of the existing storage building that he wants attached to the actual business building. Did you catch all that? I bet you didn't. Well,
I was trying to map that in my mind, but it kind of went fuzzy on me.
we'll get more into that and we'll come back right after this, okay?
Canine Stray Rescue does just that. Rescue stray dogs for new families. But they need your help. Become a volunteer at Canine Stray Rescue League of Michigan. Take dogs for walks, help them socialize with others, and help them get adopted. Fill out an application and help a family add a new member today.
Welcome back to Minutes by Minutes, and I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
And we are discussing Leonard, a little small town of Leonard.
Planning Commission.
Planning Commission meeting. And a gentleman wants to add on to his building by putting a storage building on there, making it larger. And he guess what he's going to use it for?
Storage. I don't know.
I gave you the hint. Yes, storage.
Jeez.
And he's going to take cans and things like that and bottles and everything, for storage for return.
Is it going to be like a cold? Oh, but it's not going to be like a cold storage or something like
No.
that. Okay.
And there's going to be no warm storage because there's going to be no heat in the building, in that part of the building.
Oh, in that part of the building. Okay.
Right. No. And the retail side of it, there'll be heat. Okay. But anyway, great store. If you get a chance, stop into Leonard and check it out for yourself. But he said what he wants to do is remove 2 walls, and he wants to add structure onto it, and then do a new roof line, for the total area connecting to the building itself.
I mean, when was that building built? I mean, most of the buildings in downtown Leonard are not that new.
I agree. I think there's railroad trains running through town, and there's how many
Pony
bars
Express.
and restaurants. I mean, it was quite a while ago.
All right.
Maybe even before Moses
But
was there.
usually when you're doing a revamp on a really old building, you have
Yeah.
to watch it pretty carefully.
You do. And actually, the Planning Commission is watching this thing pretty good. Interesting to note is this Planning Commission is fairly new in terms of the people that are serving on this board. So the process was going a little bit slow compared to what usually you see in terms of planning commissions. But these folks, they're going to catch on. And actually, Mike McDonald was there, president of the village, and he provided some support and direction, for the board as they were moving along, because he
Good,
knows
good.
all the codes and
Oh,
so
sure.
forth. So anyway,
Mike is pretty well versed.
yeah, great help there. He also serves, Mike does, on the Pollyant Trail.
That's
board.
right. That's
So,
right. Is he the head of that?
Yeah, he's the chairman.
Chairman. Okay.
Yep.
Good.
So he pretty much leads the sheep.
Do they have a
Goats.
pro town? No, I won't even go there.
But they have goats.
Oh, they have goats. No.
Yeah, okay. But they don't have them, but they lease them out. Here comes another one. Okay, another goat. Anyway,
Kind of like an Uber goat.
an Uber goat. Yeah, they lease them out. They eat their weight in poison ivy every day. I guess that's the way it works. Anyway, so they wanted to look at the plan itself, so they unrolled, the site plan. And they had questions concerning the location of various buildings within that area, because there are some sheds also on the property. And interesting enough is that their code requires that if you're a commercial business, that you cannot have over 30% construction on that site.
Oh,
So they want to make sure that, it fell within that. And it does, but it's getting close to the point where, it could overrun. They said, well, what about trash pickup? I don't see anywhere on this site where you have, the dumpster. They said, well, the dumpster's there. And they said, well, it's not enclosed. And he says, well, I guess I could enclose it. There's a fence there right now that would open to, getting to my property to the dumpster. But he said, if I have to enclose it, then I have to enclose it. And they said, well, it requires 6-foot fence high surrounding the dumpster, except for where you get into the dumpster, where the access can be, right? Okay.
good
so-
fences make for invisible dumpsters.
yeah, and he agreed. I mean, he said, okay, whatever it takes to do that. Now, they said, you're going to add onto this building that you have, removing 2 walls, the existing building. Do you know how deep the foundation goes on this? And he said, no, I don't. They said, well, are you aware of a rat wall requirement?
A what?
He says, what's a rat wall? He said that too. And they said, well, it has to go down at least 24 inches, 2 feet down.
Keep them from burrowing under.
Yeah, keep them from burrowing under. Because actually, the storage building he's going to have is going to have a wood floor on it. So that means he's
Okay.
going to have 2x10 trusses, floor trusses across the bottom, and then he's going to.
What's the bottom right now? Cement?
I don't believe the new section will have anything on it other than ground. So when they do the footings, you want to make sure there's a rat wall so that the little critters can't get underneath there. So anyway, so they did suggest strongly that they do that, because that is part of the ordinance requirement.
What
and the
happened?
building code.
How do they do that? If
Well-
if the foundation isn't deep enough right now, How do they make it deeper without destroying the building?
Or it doesn't have a rat wall at all. What do you do? Only a foundation.
Oh,
Okay, and
but I thought the rat wall was the foundation.
no. It actually is a separate concrete pouring that goes either inside or the outside of the building,
Oh,
isolating, the floor area underneath, so that you don't get little critters in there. Got it?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's interesting.
And Mike McDonald said you can have, if there's a structure there already, you can actually run a 4-inch wide rat barrier, around the existing area, and then, full conformity, 16-inch I think is what's required, the rest of the way. So anyway, so it was all discussed, and he agreed that whatever is necessary to do there, he would go ahead. And
Those poor little rats are going to freeze during the winter?
yeah, they're going to go to your house is what's going to happen.
Thank you very much.
Okay, they're going to have little notes that say to go to Dave Kinney's home, and it's located at. That's the way it's going to work.
Oxford Lakes.
No,
That's where you live.
well, we don't need them. Okay, we don't need them over there, right? All you folks over there in Oxford Lakes. Oh, no. Okay, so anyway, so they did discuss all this stuff, and I think they're on the right track. They checked to see if the fire department had been involved in this. Chief Moralski, and he said that there needs to be fire detectors in the buildings. Other than that, he didn't see any real issues in the way this is going to be constructed and the use. So they said that's fine, and it was reviewed with the fire chief. Let me see, what else did they do? Okay, the rat wall is a big subject. They spent a lot of time talking about rats. Now there won't be any rats getting in this building. That'd be really safe. Okay.
All right. Buildings have rat walls, ships have rat lines.
They do. And then the other subject they did talk about is septic. Is your septic area that you have now, is it capable, or the field, to handle additional structure, in terms of usage? And he said, well, I'm not going to use any more water than what I'm using now, or no other requirements in terms of sewage. So he said, it's been inspected, I guess about 4 months ago, and he said everything was fine. He said, I don't see an issue with it, but he said we can re-review that. And Mike McDonald said, well, the inspector will actually review that anyway. So they said, okay, we'll go with it.
They don't actually have a sewer system
what?
in downtown Leonard, do they?
They don't. It's a septic system
Okay.
that they have. So, and of course, being in business,
They don't have shared septic, do they?
Huh?
They don't have shared
No.
septic, no. Okay.
each individual.
All right.
And the health department, of course, checks this out, being your restaurant and a food place. So, and it has to be done periodically, I think every 4 months or every 6 months, something along that line. But anyway, it's being done in terms of the process. No issues concerning the dumpster, everything was approved. So then they whipped out the plan, unrolled it, and they said, okay, Sam, you want to come up here and sign this, please, that you approve it? All the changes we made to it. So Sam says, yep. So he waltzed up there and signed his signature.
They get things done in Leonard.
Right, they do. And he said, again, the building is not going to be heated. He said, but, it'll be for my purpose. He said it'll work out great. There was a question about the one door that he didn't have in the picture. You're right, or cooled. There was one door that wasn't in the picture, and the Planning Commission did say that you're going to have to put a door in, on this end. He said, okay, that's not an issue. So that was pretty well covered. With that, we'll talk more when we come back right after this.
Welcome to American Legion in Oxford for the best fish on Fridays. That's right, from noon to 8:30. You can get the best walleye in Michigan. You can get walleye, baked cod, chicken strips, baked potatoes, and more. On the hall side of the Legion, oh, hello there, friends. You can have 12 friends on a table, any one of the best military museums in Michigan. And the dining side, oh, hello again. more comfortable with many 4-seat tables and a couple of 5-seaters. Now on Friday we usually have about 400 to 500 best friends for our fish. Carryout? You bet. We have 50 to 60 carryouts at the post. We have some young fins with the birthdays and some of our best seniors at the post. Oh yeah, waitresses, they go like a track waitress to get your food. If you have never enjoyed our secret's famous walleye at the Legion, come on in every Friday from noon to 8:30 at the American Legion Post 108 on 130 East Rainer Road, Oxford.
Welcome to Minutes by Minutes. I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Cannon.
And we've just talked about Leonard and the Planning Commission.
That's right.
And we actually spent 2 segments on it. So you folks out in Leonard, pay attention.
They had their P's and C's together.
Yeah. Right, we did. A lot shorter session than what you would have, sitting at the meeting itself. And we're going to talk about the Oxford Edison Cable Communications Commission, which you were there.
Yes, and you droned on at that meeting.
And I droned on, and we'll get into that one. Sue Basarda is the chair for that commission. Shar Sotheby serves on it as a pro tem. Bill Dunn serves as a secretary. He's the township supervisor for Oxford Township. Ed Hunwick serves on that board as well. And of course, Bill Service, who's the station manager, was here.
Was Lori Fisher there?
Lori Fisher was there too.
She's
Did
a
I miss her?
treasurer.
Yeah, she's a treasurer. And I missed her. Did you miss her?
I don't know. I missed her.
She was definitely there.
Okay.
Okay, and then of course you were there.
I was there.
Otherwise you would.
I was there. You were there.
Yeah,
Terry was
right.
there.
Okay. So they did the pledge, got all the preliminaries taken care of. They did a roll call. Everybody was present. They talked about the April 24th minutes, which they approved. Quickly, we're moving along here. Bill run was $21,750.18. That's $21,750.18. You know,
That
you're the
encompassed
guy
about
with
4
the-
weeks. Yeah.
4 weeks. So, and it was quickly approved as well. Let me see. Question from Bill Dunn. Oh, Bill, you bought some hats. Bill says, yes, I did. He says, okay.
We had a hard time understanding him to start with. We're going, what?
Right.
Oh, hats. Yes, hats.
And you said you stopped a subscription also, which would be a credit coming back,
yeah,
right?
there was an automatic subscription to something called LogMeIn that we decided we weren't going to use, but they charged us anyhow.
Oh.
And we got a hold of them, and they said, on the next credit card statement, your refund will be there. So,
Does that have to do with AT&T?
No.
It doesn't.
Nothing.
Nothing to do with that.
It's just a communication off of the, for remote access to a computer.
Okay, good enough. You folks understand that? I bet you don't.
No.
Anyway, oh yeah, all right. Year-to-date revenue report was received and filed, and then unfinished business, budget revision. Lori Fisher brought this up. Has not received official report from Oxford Township yet.
Okay.
So she wanted to table it for a while, till the next meeting, right?
Favorite move.
Until she gets information. Table! You'll hear that word quite often in some of these meetings, folks. They run to a point and they say, I don't have any information. Table! Right? Okay, so...
It's kind of the beating version of Fifth Amendment. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, right. The next presentation was concerning the drone, which the TV station has now purchased a drone. It's a Phantom 4 drone.
Phantom 4 Pro Plus.
It's the most advanced one you can get. It has all kinds of sensors around it that protects it. It will actually, if you hit towards a tree, it'll stop and say, whoa, there's a tree. They're going to send me through this tree? No way. It'll stop, turn around, or it'll go around it, depending on what your plan, your
That's
flight
right.
plan is. So anyway, so we're in the process right now of actually learning how this thing completely operates, going through manuals like that. And there are a number of questions from the Communications Commission at this time. And one is, do you have insurance for this? Why, do you think we're going to crash?
Well, we're applying for it.
Right. And he's working on that, and I'm working with him on that to get the insurance for it, and answering all the quadzillion questions that you have to go through. And let me
And
see.
you're registering it with the FAA.
It has to be registered with the FAA, and they'll assign a set of numbers to you. And we had a problem trying to do that the other day on the internet, which is what we're going to do. But hopefully we'll be able to do that today.
And we have to send somebody off to take a test.
Pilot license, that would be me. If you're getting in the commercial end of it, which is what we'll be doing, where we'll be teaching other people how to operate drones. So you folks keep in mind down the line here that the station here more likely will be teaching, how
Otherwise
to operate
known
drones.
as Train the Trainer.
Train the trainer. Right. So somebody has to be a pilot, and I drew the small straw, so I would be it. So and that'll happen probably within the next couple weeks. Now, Another thing that came up was night flights. Ed Hunwick brought up. You guys going to be flying this at night? Well, the answer to that was
No.
no. and why we're not going to fly at night?
What? Can't see.
Right. The drone
Although the camera on this drone
has the
does
ability.
have capability for infrared.
Well,
Would you believe?
that is a falsehood.
Oh, wait a minute! You told me that.
I know, but that was one of those rumors. See, now,
I believed it.
gotcha, didn't I? Okay. Actually, there's infrared sensors all the way around it,
Oh,
but the camera itself is very sensitive. So if, let's say, you were out at night and you want to get fireworks,
another correction to the minutes.
correction to the minutes, that would be it. Anyway, we'll just see if you were alert. Well, he was sleeping as usual.
Yeah,
Had
right.
to slap him and wake him up. Okay, so anyway, it is quite a piece of equipment that we're going to have.
It is very, very sophisticated. For that price, it's absolute state of the art.
We have flown it solo, and it's amazing the pictures that you get off this, isn't it?
You did?
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No.
Oh, you weren't present. I think somebody said, let's get this off the ground while David isn't around. I think that's the way it went down.
Yeah, when Dave gets here, he can get it off the roof.
Yeah, get it off the roof. No, it won't get it off the roof. Anyway, everything went smooth. And we flew it, watching the monitor. It came back on a homing push button. It says homeward bound. It hits home, lands at your feet.
Wow.
Very nicely done.
We're trying to come up with a name for it. I favor Spot, but you know.
Spot. Spot would probably be a good choice there. But let's talk about another spot. A spot that they're going to have coming up this weekend is going to be Tough Mudders.
Tough Mudders,
Hello,
two-day
Fada.
event.
Hello, Mudda.
Hello, Fada.
They're going to have, I understand, almost 15,000 people. So
At 7,500 participants.
they are coming. They're coming. They're coming, folks.
I can hear the rumble in the distance.
And the date is what? Saturday, the 3rd,
Third
of
and
June
fourth.
and 4th.
Right.
Yep. And at the same time, there's competition going on with the lacrosse tournament.
Wow.
And that's going to take place at Seymour Lake Park.
Yep.
And Ron Davis actually is kind of, coordinating those efforts. So with that
Our
group,
teams will be hither, tither, and beyond.
and they're right. And talk about tither, there's going to be roughly alone for the lacrosse program, at least 1,500 people showing up. And they're expecting maybe 3,000. So you put that with the other crowd, and can you say 20,000 people?
And
Now,
we
question
could
is,
support them with our extensive hotel setup.
but do we have parking?
Whoa.
Whoa.
In Oxford Park? Yeah.
Yeah.
They got a lot of parking.
If you're allowed to park on your lawn without getting in trouble with the ordinances,
Maybe we'll have shuttles. Maybe we won't.
yeah, I understand they're charging roughly about $40 per parking spot over there.
For where? For
Over at-
lacrosse?
No, for the
Tough
Tough
Mudder?
Mudders.
Wow.
And they're busing people actually all the way from Detroit in here. So, with that,
It's an incredible event. If you haven't seen one before, it's really sort of an army
Messy.
infiltration course on steroids.
yeah, it's really messy. It's got a lot of mud.
First day is 10K and the next day is 5K.
It would be.
Yep.
Okay, what's coming up?
Not much.
Not much.
Let's see. We got the Tough Mudders. Oh yeah. Okay. 5/29 is Memorial Day, and I have one meeting on 6/5, the Village of Oxford Zoning Board of Appeals, and that's all I got.
I'm Elgin Nichols.
And I'm Dave Kenny.
Catch you next time right here on Minutes by Minute.
See you then.